A melhor base de dados online sobre música, em português e à distância de um clique. Tudo para ver e ouvir em cotonete.clix.pt.
Os irlandeses God is An Astronaut regressam a Portugal este mês para apresentarem um novo disco, Origins. Em conversa connosco, o Torsten Kinsella explica que este trabalho é uma espécie de reinvenção da banda e também revela quais são para si as semelhanças entre os irlandeses e os portugueses. So, Torsten, this album Origins, is it, rather than a coming back to the beginning of the band, more like a reinvention of the band?
I don't know, but either really. I mean, Origins for me represents the whole reason that we started music in the first place, which is to make music for ourselves and not for, at the time wasn't for A&R men. We just did music for ourselves. And in this particular case, it's not making music for the critics or for the fans, but making music that we would enjoy, music that we would buy ourselves, and that's behind the record, and that's the why we call it Origins. Very happy that we, on this record that we've made music from our hearts. We never worried about what anybody thought. We just had a lot of fun making it, and that's something that I'm very proud of.
But musically, is more of a guitar-based albums than the ones before?
Yes, well, this is probably more of an experimental guitar. Than some people saying it's a very electronic record. It's very inaccurate. A record that was made with a lot of different guitar effects and pedals. It was a little bit different in the sense that before we would write a track, conventionally on the acoustic guitar or on the piano, and then we would, add extra sounds on top of it to try and give it that otherworldly flavour. What we did here is we created the weird soundscapes to begin with. It was kind of like sculpturing songs out of noise, and that was really what we did. So it was, all the sounds were already there to begin with. We just had to turn them into songs, and it was a really fun process.
You used a real brass player, right? Is that something you're going to transport to stage?
Not at the moment, no. I've been working with a group on a different, just more a recording situation. A band called Toucan, and they had two brass players. And I just thought it was interesting maybe to add that onto our record. And, it played a bigger role than I thought. They actually only came in for 2 days, and I just loved everything that the guys did, the trumpet player and trombone player. Maybe down the road we could turn it into a bigger project, but or we might just leave it as a feature for this record. It's too early to tell. But if we got Jules Holland or something like that, I'm sure we could entice the guys to come out to play with us, but not on the level that we're at the moment. We'd need bigger budget.
What was the first song and the last song you guys wrote for this record?
The last one was Light Years From Home, and it was a little bit different for us. It was, in a sense, a little bit more electronic, less kind of post-rock. In general, it's just a really psychedelic kind of vibe that ran through it. Very kind of, just different for us, and I just think we left it last, wasn't sure if it fit the rest of the record. It's just something, I just think it was something cool to leave at the end of the record. It could be a direction we may explore in the future or not. It's just there's an option there, and I think it was the first time that, I've written a whole verse and chorus lyrics. I just think it really expanded the sound of God as an Astronaut rather just leaving it, as an instrumental entity.
You guys come to Portugal often. Do you have any favorite place here?
We've only played in 3 places. I remember 2 of them, one obviously being Lisbon, the other one being Porto, and there was another one that eludes me at the moment. I can't remember the name of it. It's hard to say, Lisbon, I think was probably our favourite. It was just it's great passion. But Porto is great as well. They've just got such a cool fan base up there. And we actually did this festival up in Portugal. Actually, Sakura. That actually was my favorite. Actually, now that I think about it, that was just unbelievable.
Many people compare the Irish people to the Portuguese. Did you see any similarities?
You know, we've met a few people, you know, the band Linda Martini, and, you know, they have a similar passion to the Irish. You know, there's a lot of self-belief. There's a lot of, they carry themselves in a very, you know, strong way. So I think that's definitely that in common with the Portuguese. Definitely, you know, people that, you know, we're fighters. We're not going to be sitting there and just waiting for things to come to us. We go out and we do our best to make things happen. So I think we definitely share the same attitude towards, you know, trying to get to places.
A melhor base de dados online sobre música, em português e à distância de um clique. Tudo para ver e ouvir em cotonete.clix.pt.